This week on Destination Polaris, we continue our Mexican adventure. 100 miles along the Sea of Cortez.
And hey, Lindsay, you can't have all the fun. I'm in Montana with a whole herd of brand new machines. Destination Polaris starts right now.
Destination Polaris is presented by Rugged Radios, the authority in communications.
Hello and welcome to Destination Polaris and the beautiful Sea of Cortez in Mexico. We're continuing our bucket list ride from Puerto Penasco to El Gulfo, and it's been quite a journey.
We're all here for one reason. We love riding razors, we love off-roading, we love the beach, and we just love the adventure.
38 razor enthusiasts are all loving our 300-mile round-trip Sea of Cortez razor run. He likes to make waves, you know.
Yes, I do.
We started in the lively resort city, Puerto Penasco, Mexico. Then rode 150 miles through the desert, dunes, and along the beach to the quaint village of El Gulfo. I love it. Look at all the people just hanging out down on the beach. Mexico is a large and diverse country, so it's awesome to find this little gem. El Gulfo is only 50 miles from the U.S., directly south of the California-Arizona state line.
Quiet little fishing town, a really real, authentic Mexican town and village, and it's just a great vibe.
This is our halfway point of the trip, so we'll stay and explore for a couple of days.
I love to see all the little street vendors on the corner.
This Mexican fishing village is one of the least developed along the Sea of Cortez.
It's been great. Wasn't sure what to expect, but it's been a blast this far and loved riding on the beach.
I honestly enjoyed getting to the top hills and seeing the ocean. I thought that was great.
Beautiful views. You can watch the tide come in and out. It's really nice.
Check out this pristine, untouched coastline. You can even see Baja California across the way from the popular Lighthouse Lookout.
You can just see for miles and miles. The views are spectacular. This is the highest point in the north part of the Gulf right here.
There was not a single dull moment. Good laughs, everyone was smiling, having a great time.
As we headed south out of El Gulfo, we cruised the beach and tackled the Ridgeline Trail for a higher vantage point.
So today in El Gulfo, we're here on the beach, beautiful day.
Once again, our fearless leader Mike is in charge of getting us there.
We're gonna travel down south on the beach, probably about 6-8 miles.
There's a hidden trail that leads us to the sandy mountain range known for lightning storms. Finding the trail is one thing, tackling the terrain is another.
So we'll drop down a little bit of what we call a mini Grand Canyon or moonscapes. And there's some really good landscape out there, that's stuff you've never seen before. Some of it looks like the Grand Canyon, some of it looks like you're on the moon.
We weave back and forth around these large craters, a scene fit for a movie. Going to unique places most never venture to is one of our favorite parts of Razor life.
It's a really cool ride. Cut through the dunes just a little bit and we'll get to the top of a mountain that actually has iron ore in the ground.
Today we're on the hunt for buried treasure. Move over, Mike.
So now we're going searching for petrified lightning.
Yes.
Denise is in charge for this part of the trip.
So Denise, what are we looking for?
Well, we're looking for little sand formations, and they're usually on top of a sand dune or a hill where lightning would strike.
Looking for little sand formations. Should be real easy, right? Where do you normally find these?
Well, wherever lightning would strike, usually at a high point on a hill or a little knoll. Here's one. This is a nice size one. This is a fairly large one, actually. They're very fragile.
Wow.
Here's another one right here. There's another type.
How are these formed?
Well, when lightning strikes some sand that has a lot of silica and quartz in it, and if it's over 1800 degrees Celsius, it makes these little petrified lightning strikes.
Very cool, though.
Earlier on our adventure, we found ancient sand dollars.
How cool is that?
And now, these delicate works of lightning art.
Yep, that's them. Good job.
Natural wonders. History. Culture. Mexico continues to impress. After a quick break, we begin our 100-mile-plus trek home. You're watching Destination Polaris.
Destination Polaris is sponsored by Rugged Radios, the authority in communications. Super ATV, your trusted source for high-quality parts and accessories. And by Aluma Trailers, the best aluminum trailers available.
Welcome back to DP.
We all get together once or twice a year to do this big ride.
Each year, Liz and Rick Servatus organize 2 of these rides. One in the fall and another in the spring.
You've got the beautiful blue ocean and nothing but just sand and all your friends with you.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Unbelievable sums it up. Our epic razor-fueled journey along Mexico's Sea of Cortez is coming to a close. El Gulfo, you are so good to us, but it's time to head home.
Got about a little over 100 miles to go. That includes all the little side destinations.
We leave the peace and quiet and retrace our steps back towards the tourist hotspot, Puerto Penasco.
Not very many places where you're able to ride as close as you want to the water and almost as far as you want.
Another thing that's been fun about this ride is everybody can kind of go at their own pace. So if you want to slow down and enjoy the view, you can, or you can fly and race.
We did some jumps, hitting some little hills and stuff, and tearing it up, knocking some sand around.
And even though we're taking a similar route home, it will be a much different ride because of the tide.
Yeah, so look at how much beach we have now.
Look how much beach we have right now.
And at 10 o'clock tonight, it will be a totally different
It will be a totally different beach tonight. Every time we plan this trip, we always take a look at tide charts. We print out tide charts. We're always looking for a fairly flat tide.
In some areas, we had to ride closer to the cliffs, but luckily the tide worked in our favor both ways for this trip. It was so hard to say goodbye to the beach, but the final 40 brought us on a desert adventure. Razors and 38 people completed the 300-mile round-trip Sea of Cortez Razor Run.
I honestly enjoyed the most is the people. feel like everybody who's riding is just incredible, and I think that was the best part.
My favorite part was probably last night we went on that little razor ride during sunset, and we were getting some airtime. That was crazy. That was fun.
It's been awesome. The weather's great. We have great views of the beach and just a lot of fun riding with everybody. It's nice to have a big group of people.
For our final night, everyone celebrates with one last feast, jokingly called the Survivor's Dinner.
Well, the Survivor's Dinner is kind of a ritual. After everybody goes on this El Gulfo run, we come back, we celebrate, we have dinner, we have drinks, and we share our stories about the ride.
Just one last time for all of us to connect as friends.
We had a great time just getting to know 38 people.
And the other thing is we have made numerous new friends.
New friends, old friends, family, and fun.
We've got to dance a little more one last time.
You just come out here just to ride, it kind of gets a little boring. Everybody go out and have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Everyone's going to have their own story. I mean, there's a bunch of us riding, and everyone's going to have their own take on what happens, and having a big group makes it that much more enjoyable.
The perfect weekend getaway. We have our story. Now it's time for you to make yours. If you want more information, check out Destination Polaris on Facebook.
Destination Polaris is sponsored by Kicker and SSB Works. Go wherever your music takes you. And by KMC Wheels, precision for chaos. And by Polaris Visa Card, power your passion. Earn Polaris cash on all of your purchases.
Welcome back to Destination Polaris. We've shifted gears and moved to Montana. Not a bad spot, huh? You know, if this place was good enough for explorers Lewis and Clark, heck, it's good enough for us. We're just outside of Great Falls, and the Little Belt Mountains serve as our base camp today. They're located inside the Lewis and Clark National Forest. We've teamed up today with Russ Enos of Novak. Russ knows a thing or two about these Montana trails.
NOHVCC or Novak, we're a national nonprofit, and we're really about helping people get all the information and help they need to be successful at providing high-quality, sustainable trails. The Little Belt Mountain Range where we're at is a great example of a really well-managed trail system. It's an example of an area where the riders have worked in cooperation with the agencies to just come up with a fantastic trail system that's fun to ride, easy to follow, and a great time.
So Russ, I know we are right here at Jellison Place, but after that, it's all yours, man.
Okay, so the plan for today is we're going to start here at Jellison Place at the trailhead. We'll work our way across these lower trails over to the Haymaker Narrows, which is a really spectacular trip through a limestone slot about 80 feet high and 20 feet wide.
Oh, cool. And maybe stop at a few peaks along the way?
Yeah, we'll have some great opportunities up around Daisy Peak to really see the country, and I'll kind of point out some of the features in the Little Belt Mountains.
Cool, and you promise it won't snow or rain today?
We might get wet.
Yeah.
It's cool and damp, so.
When Russ mentioned that we'd go to a place called the Narrows, I was all in. It just sounds cool. But in order to get to the Narrows, you gotta suck it all in.
That's a good point. In the Little Belt Mountains, when the trail says it's a 50-inch trail, it's a 50-inch trail.
50 on the dot, not a hair over, you ain't getting through.
Roger that. We brought the right rigs to get us there.
And that's where, you know, the Ace really shines, is it lets you be able to maneuver in that really tight terrain.
And there's a ton of terrain here. This place is huge.
Little Belt Mountains is about 1.4 million acres.
You don't bump into a lot of people too often.
I think around 700 miles of trails and roads that are accessible by ATV and side-by-sides.
We made one last turn and then boom, there it was.
All of a sudden, everything just comes in real tight. Obviously, the Narrows.
Looks like something out of a movie.
The Narrows, that's a limestone feature. It must be about 80 feet high. It's about 10 or 12 feet wide in its narrowest point. The Narrows is a great destination.
It was really cool to be able to ride up through it.
It's just a spectacular feature. It's where the water is eroded through the limestone and just made a spectacular slot for the stream to run out the mountains.
That was awesome. Let's finish the day with a ride to the top.
We are on Daisy Peak, and it's a little chilly and a little breezy, but it's an absolutely spectacular view, and it is literally a 360-degree view. You can see the big belts off to the south. You can see the moccasins, the crazies, the highwoods. It's a spectacular view.
Every time you come out over a vista or a place, you're rewarded with just awesome views. And just really, you know, like opens up into a meadow, and then you see cliffs, and it's just a beautiful area. This is awesome. This is epic.
We're not done with you, Montana, just yet. Up next, we head to Great Falls. I wonder which machine I can ride today. This should be fun. You're watching Destination Polaris.
Destination Polaris is sponsored by Brimstone. Camp, ride, and kick back at Brimstone. And by PRP. Seats, harnesses, and storage for your UTV. PRP, built for off-road. And by Walton's. Everything but the meat.
I just wanted to welcome you to Bull Run Guest Ranch.
Welcome back to Destination Polaris. You can see we've moved locations. We've gone from the Little Belt to the Big Belt Mountains. Got a whole bunch of friends here and a ton of brand new toys.
It's an awesome day to be out here in Montana.
Well said. I couldn't agree more. I mean, who wouldn't love the chance to take the entire 2017 lineup for a spin?
For 2017, we introduced an all-new Sportsman XP1000. It's the most powerful ATV ever with 90 horsepower. The all-new Ace 900XC is phenomenal. It's we bring big power to the category now with almost 80 horsepower.
Obviously, we've got it propped up so you can see some of the great things that we've done to this machine.
We really appreciate you guys traveling across the country and joining us today to go through the Polaris product.
Eye candy, no doubt. But what everyone wants to talk about is Ride Command.
Well, Ride Command is really all centered around a 7-inch glove touch display. We call it glove touch because you can use a motocross style glove on the screen, group ride, and that's kind of our premier feature with this. And I can see you on the screen. You're a little circle moving around. If you're stopped, you turn into a square. You can kind of see where all your buddies are roaming around.
I think it's kind of a game changer as far as how we interact with these vehicles, especially in groups.
That's the biggest thing is you go on trail rides and you get separated. Then everybody's got to stop, where with this new system, you'll be able to actually know where everybody's at.
It's got a built-in GPS, so if you've got some kind of range anxiety about your phone running out of batteries, you don't know how to get home, there's an onboard GPS, you're always going to get home.
Ride Command takes all your tech stuff and wraps it into one display.
You had your GPS mounted, your phone mounted, you had speakers and a radio, you had all this stuff, and it kind of looked like an airplane cockpit. There's all kinds of things. We've integrated it all into one unit that runs really easily.
Having the rear view camera, the front camera, the engagement, the radio, just some really neat features that you would never expect to see on a side-by-side.
And what better way to capture all those shots than with these guys?
Having GoPro capability from your cabin was huge.
You pair your GoPro camera with Ride Command, and it allows you to connect with your camera, start and stop record, change modes, review your content right from the dashboard of the Razor.
Touch it, start recording, stop recording, get a picture, do whatever you want.
You're not going to get that classic shot of, is it on?
You mean this shot?
Our endemic core user base for GoPro overlaps really nicely with Polaris. I think you'd see a lot of Polaris users out there who already have GoPros, so the more that we can help embed our product in theirs, the better experience it's going to be overall for both GoPro and Polaris users.
All right, it looks like they've got a little test course set up for us.
You're here right now at this waypoint 6, that's the end. You're going to follow it around here to waypoint 1. So just basically kind of stay on that trail. And what happens, you're going to head up this hill, and you go to the right along by the trailers and head over there toward the fence.
New toys, new tech, and a whole new experience.
When you get in the machine and ride it and you own that adventure, there's just nothing else like it. It's what we call Instagrin. It'll put a big smile on your face quickly.